Let me just get it. Okay, we are chapter 6, Mishnah 4. Pirkei Avot, of course. כך היא דרכה של תורה. Such is the way of Torah study. פת במלח תאכל, מים במשורה תשתה, ועל הארץ תישן, וחיי צער תחיה, ובתורה תעמל. Eat a piece of bread with salt. Drink water in rationed measure. Sleep on the ground. And live a life of hardship. And in the Torah do you toil. If you do so, happy shall you be, and it shall be well with you. Happy shall you be in this world, and it shall be well with you in the world to come. This is what the Mishnah says. So when we read it on the face value, seems this is advocate that a person should live like what? Like a monk. Should not have any luxury, not luxury, in any basic things. He should just afflict himself. This is what looks from the Mishnah, right? On the other hand, we find in Chazal, the rabbis telling the Nazarite, the one that accepted to become a Nazir, which not to drink wine and not to shave and not to have haircut, this kind of thing. There is not so simple to say how do we relate to him? Is it the right thing to do? Because it says when after he finished the period of the Nazirut, you have to bring a sacrifice. And one rabbi in the Mishnah or the Gemara says, because why do you have to bring a sacrifice? He said, no, he sinned by depriving himself from these things. So we see that it's not really a clear cut to say, and afflict yourself and suffer, and this is the ideal. So we have to understand what's going on in the Mishnah. You follow what I'm saying? So, Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, in his famous book, The Kuzari, he puts it, and we mentioned the idea many, many times. A person must have a balanced life. He should cater for his needs, but he mustn't exaggerate. He mustn't becomes addicted to luxury. A person must be balanced, not to have extremes, not to the Rabbi Yehuda Halevi the Kuzari says a person can close to God in the same way that he thinks that by fasting he can come close to God by being joyful on Shabbat, on Yom Tov. So, as I say, we never, according to the Rambam, and I think this is what seems to be the accepted thing. A person mustn't, we spoke about not to go into extremes one way or another. A person must be balanced, it should be in the middle. The Rambam says sometimes a person has to become extreme one side in order to come back to balance. If he lost his balance and he became, let us say, haughty, uh, and then he must become himself extreme the other side to humble himself in order to come to the balance. So a person must, the idea is that in every matter, a person must have a balanced way of life. Now, what does the Mishnah says? That sometimes a person may be that he is poor, he cannot have great meals. He has to just satisfy himself with the bare minimum to have bread with salt. He can't afford to have even to drink water unlimited. He can't have the luxury of sleeping on a bed, that he has to sleep on the floor. Not because he makes himself, like we say, like monks, like in the Christian, really, there are some people that are of high degree and so on, that completely cut themselves from materialist things, and they just want to completely be spiritual. But this is not the way of life which is recommended for everybody. But it's quite possible that a person is in a position that financially he cannot afford more, what the Mishnah tells us. Nevertheless, even if he is lacking uh, physical or material things, he should not let himself out of the Torah learning. And this is what the Mishnah says. On one way, we can say, כך היא דרכה של Torah, such is the way of Torah study, which seems to be as if he needs to become such a person that to afflict himself. But as I said, Rambam, others don't think so. They say the idea, but the message is that even if a person is such a position that he can just have the bare minimum, it should not cause him to not to study. On the contrary, ובתורה תעמל, he should put a lot of effort in on Torah study. There is also a possibility, one commentary says, that the person should say, look, I am now have to build up my financial position to make money. I'll be rich. When I'm rich, I will then go and learn, I go and study, I go to the kollel. He puts it away, off for the time. The Mishnah doesn't think that this is the right thing to do. So even if a person when he starts in life, he faces some financial, economical difficulties, and he should not neglect the Torah study and to say, I will one day, after I will make the money, I'll be better, I will then dedicate myself to Torah study. Where we know what, there is a statement, Al tomar lech shefne efne eshne. Don't say, when I have time, when I will retire, then I'll go to learn. Because maybe you'll never feel that you have time. So this is not a good idea to delay things. A person must uh, to learn the whole time, in spite of, even if he's, as I said, he's struggling financially or economically. There is a possibility that some of the commenters said, just a good advice, don't indulge yourself in food and other luxury and so on. It's not healthy. Just keep a healthy diet, what you need without indulging yourself. And this is another way to look at it. um, there is one point about, it says about sleeping on the floor. Let's say you don't have finance to be able to buy a nice bed with a nice mattress and so on. So better sleep on what we have rather than take loans to be able to have a better kind of a life. And then you'll have sleepless nights because then you'll be worries. Where, when and how will I will pay back all the debts that I am getting into. So he said, better if you need to sleep on the floor, at least you will sleep. If you get involved in trying to borrow money in order to get better beds, you won't sleep. It's another look at things. There is somebody that in a light way, he said, somebody was complaining that he has to eat uh, like bread and salt at the minimum. He said, the Mishnah said, what are you complaining? The Mishnah said, this is a way of Torah study. You are, so somebody said it in a kind of And joke, no, you must read it differently. Read it in a question mark. Is that the way of Torah? To eat bread and salt and in a question mark. It's not, this is not the way of Torah. Just put a question mark. So there is obviously idea, but the message is very, very clear. The message is that a person must know what is the most important in his life, the spiritual side of life. But some say you have to, even if you can afford to have all this luxury and so on, don't indulge into that. Eat, drink, live modest way, which is healthy, doesn't put you into any unnecessary pressures, and find the fulfillment in Torah study. uh, yeah, as I said, there's somebody that tell a story, somebody who came to a rich man and he asked for donation for yeshiva, for the yeshiva boys, and need some thing. And the rich man said to his rich, said, what are you coming to me? Isn't the Mishnah said that you should actually study, when you study Torah, just satisfy yourself with the minimum? The rich man tells, you satisfy with the minimum. Obviously, this is not the way to deal with it. This is not what meant but definitely gives an encouragement. Could be also the person that a youngster that start, let's say, his life when he study in yeshiva and whenever there are difficulties. So um, it gives you encouragement to say, look, life could be in the beginning, which you'll have to face some difficulties. How are you going to manage financially or physically? But you must know with study of Torah, if you are study in spite of the difficulties that you have in material things, in matter second, if you do so, happiness is waiting here for you. It can be happiness in this world. As I said, it can be you have a more happy and satisfaction that you don't have to rush, as I said, how to increase your material things which make you worry, and if you go for borrower and so on, if you manage to set your life on basic things that you need, what you can afford, and find your drive and success in Torah study, this will enrich your life and make you happy, even in this world, be healthier and happier you'll be happy in this world, and definitely you will get your reward in the world to come. So eventually there is at the end of the day, in the way will things um, be happy life and so on. But he said you have to do it in a second. Also depends if you do it because you feel this is the way that you want to live, not that you want to copy somebody else to show that you can also live such in such a poor way. So this is not the idea that you just try to imitate. You have to say imatao second. If you do it because you feel this is what you want to do, because you understand that is the way ideal for you to do, then makes yourself as I said, you find the fulfillment and the happiness in what you do this world, in the world to come. So I think that the message is very, very clear. The Torah doesn't mean to say that a person should make himself to suffer. The, you have to have a balanced life, not to indulge in material things, to direct your activities in spiritual side, working hard on Torah study, not to work hard in order to make more money, just get the minimum that you need and you be free your mind and time to devote yourself to Torah study. The summary, I saw somebody brings an interesting kind of emotion. Let me just find out. About um, like two travelers come to a fair. So in a big town. So one traveler, he the first what he did, he went and to the market, to the sale, and to get what he needs to buy. And afterwards, he went for a sightseeing of the town. Other guy said no. He first of all went sightseeing for 3 days, and then he came to the auction or to the market to buy. So of course, what happened when he came after 3 days? So he had a good sightseeing, but was poor market for him to be able to buy. So this is the question: is where, as I said, if you say, I will first try to establish myself financially and then I will study, or you say, I'm going to study, and then if uh, things will work out. As the Mishnah says, it maybe eventually the money will come, or in the world to come you'll get the reward for it. So, but the message is very simple. We must have a balanced life to do what we need to do without running to any indulgence, and to know the most important for us is a way of Torah, to acquire learning, to acquire Torah knowledge and so on. But they say, in Yiddish, they used to say, Torah is the best shiur. Torah is the best commodity. This is how people used to live. And obviously, things are changed today. Now, Rabbi said, somebody's got 100, he's not happy until he get 200, and the one that's got 200 got 400, and so people are driving themselves something to such things that are actually they miss the point of what is our duty in this world. So I think that the message is clear, and let us hope that we are able to reach this idea of Chazal. And as I said, that our learning should be as a credit for those that are sick, for Leslie Harris. And I don't see Reuven Bilshitz. He's okay, Reuven?
So, if I can say, I think he was going to the doctor today, so I'm not sure why he's not here. But I've just had a message right now from Marion, Leslie's sister, to say that she'd just come back from the hospital and he seems to be a little bit easier tonight.
No, let us so with the source of our learning should keep him well to recover fully. And I'm really very sad to hear about Chefziba, Raya Chefziba. She was so strong in her Yiddishkeit, and after the conversion, she was so strong with it. And I hope that the family, the husband, Menachem, and the daughters should be able to keep with the way that she wanted to run her life. They should continue. And with this, I say good night to you, and you a good week.
And we just want to wish you a refuah shlema as well.
Refuah shlema to all.
And a refuah shlema to you as well, Harav.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem, I'm getting better, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. I already managed to go back to gym to get stronger. So,